Good morning. I was going to wait till 9, but stuff it. We'll start a little bit early. There's a few people waiting, so welcome to a stream, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend so far. I've got a little bit of beer fear this morning, so nursing an hangover. But we'll do a stream anyway. We'll start off with BTC. I just want to have a run through that Wyckoff theory that people keep banging on about. There's that many theories that people keep talking about now, like a massive head and shoulders pattern. We've got the death cross. We've got so much bearish news out there. I thought I'd talk about the Wyckoff a little bit, because the Wyckoff distribution model, if we just bang the picture up, this one is really the accumulation schematic. So people have been looking at the Wyckoff the opposite way around really, and watching it drop like a lead balloon. But I thought I'd spin it around and we'll have a look at it in terms of a accumulation phase. So looking at phase A around here, you would say it, I'm not going to draw it on because I'll end up fucking it up, but if you're looking at this phase A, we do get them drops with bounces up, drop down here and a bounce up, and then we'll come into this range around here. If you're looking at the SC there, that pretty much is the bottom of the range, so you would say that's there, and then we bounce up into phase B. I don't think we're quite at phase C yet. I think we're still bouncing around within this range. You could say that this peak here, when we go to test the higher range, is around here. So you could expect that we are going to drop further in this range. I mean, if you look in phase C, that does test the lows of the range, which would, if you look at phase B there, ST, that goes all the way through and tests it. So there's a good chance that you could get a wick like this again, down through, maybe test 28, 29k. And then you come back into phase D. So potentially we might have more downside if this drops through. You could also say that phase C is here and it's pushing up, but phase C doesn't really marry up with phase D. If you're looking at this as phase C here, the test of the lows, you go then up to test the highs here, but you get pretty much a sideways action rather than a drop down. So to me, we could still be in phase B if we are following that schematic. But I mean, if we do carry on this phase B for another month and then eventually drop into phase D, some down pressure phase D, and then we should expect something like this towards the end of it, a pop down to the upside and then a continuation of uptrend at some stage. So like I say, it's not the best thing, and I don't personally follow patterns, but I think sometimes you just got to see if they are playing out or playing not. It is kind of, but I mean, this part of it is all the way up to here, and then it kind of like fucks our theory up with this drop. So, let's say the candle patterns don't have to follow it exactly, but you could say we are potentially in a Wyckoff accumulation phase. But that's my thoughts on that. Welcome everybody to the stream. How are we all doing in chat? Good morning from Great Barrier Reef. Europe if someone drinks a wife beater. Bloody hell. Only had a couple, thank God, but I ended up on whiskey, didn't I? So let's have a look at a bit more price analysis rather than patterns anyway. And what we were looking at the other day was a 61% retracement of this entire move. If we put the old Fibonacci on, from the bottom here at 31k, all the way up to that top at 41k, we've used this 618 twice. So if you look at this region around here back at 13th of June, we use it as support. We had no closures below it really before we put back up. Same here, we've had no closures below the 618 at 34989. So to me, so far it is a bullish hold, but it could just be a relief bounce before that next leg down. Remember, there's always that possibility we could come back down and test 31k again. We've been down there twice, and it's acted as some solid support pretty much all the way down. So who knows, we could get something like this. As you can see, we've hit that. So if you look at the entire move up, we've come down, done a 61% retracement. We've actually come back up, rejected off this 50% level. I'm using this as support, but if we do drop through, there's a potential that we could either come down here and bounce up, or there's a good chance that we could come back down and test this region again. And remember, I've used this area as support twice and read a wick through it, so there's always a potential that we could come down to these two regions, but that would be the bearish scenario. I think if we did break down, we probably would be in for a little bit of a bearish phase for a few months. But if you're looking at this now, so far To me, it's just an accumulation phase. Same what happened back then. We had a bit of accumulation phase, or less. I think it was a little bit shorter time. Let's change this music. So that is a potential what could be happening here, but we are in the hands of the manipulators, aren't we? So what is a bullish sign for me is that whales are accumulating within this range. Last time I said stream, I think we were something like 90,000 Bitcoin accumulated, so that's a bullish sign that the whales are buying the bags. And see, we got a little bit of greenery on the right hand side, a little bounce back, but nothing major. I think it would take a while for us to break out this trend. Could just be a boring accumulation phase like this for a while before we do eventually break up, maybe towards middle of July, and then do something like that. Maybe not to that exact pattern, but you know what I mean. So in terms of BTC, currently using my 618 as support at 3989. I'm still in a long, actually. I opened a long around 37,100. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. It's a low leverage swing trade, so I'm hoping to, even if it rides down here, I won't be liquidated. So if it does come back down to his range, I might top up, but we'll see. Depends if the market gets fleeced with any FUD. Good evening from Los Angeles. I'll look at you in a second, fine, mate. So that's that pretty much covered. Really, in terms of a bullish aspect, we need to close back above this region. If we do close back above 37k, I think we will be able to turn that support and push back on and test that 40k region. But so far, looking slightly bearish on this 4-hour time frame. We are trending down, so we're looking for either a break above that, or we're just going to continue to go down. Looking at this move out, we have rolled over a little bit. So yeah, BTC pretty much covered there. Either looking for a break up or a breakdown from there. So let's have a look at Ethereum. So we've got the high range up here at 2900, the lower range at 1700, and the mid range at 2300 ish. Used that area support quite a few times. As you can see, we broke down through it, but we did come back to retest it and we rejected again. So if we look at this over an entire move from that bottom wick, same scenario here as BTC. We're using that 618 here as support. I think if we did lose that, and we are trending down really, I mean, you could say it's not looking good in terms of structure. This was a so that was the top. We had a lower high, a lower high, pretty much in the same region, and we are creating lower highs on the way down. So that's looking quite bearish, to be honest. And there's a good chance that if you're looking to fill orders, we could either test that 1900 or that 1700 level again before we do then bounce back up and go up and test this region. But remember, if we did lose that level, we probably would come down to 1400, which would be very bearish. But I think if we did come down to those levels, you would get a lot of people buying that up. So that's that pretty much covered. If we do break back above 2300 and flip that to support, then we can really look at targeting this region here, and where we rejected twice at 2620. I think that would be the first major thing. So maybe looking for a break up here and a test of that before we then do push on. So that's an ideal scenario. Break up, reject off 2400, come back down, test this region, and then push back up and test 2600. That region will be probably the best area to test. That's probably the best scenario, Glenn, to be honest. I mean, it is bearish. While we make accumulation phase, it's always bearish. You rarely get bullish accumulation phases, and if it did drop down and the market did go into a complete lockdown for a few years, then perfect opportunity to buy. But long term, yeah, I agree. Long term perspective is massively bullish. I couldn't be any more bullish on Bitcoin long term, to be honest. Morning from Yorkshire, God's County. BTC hits 25k ish for better. Everyone is waiting for it. The thing is, if that many people are waiting for it, that to me shows that it's not going to happen. Let's just have a look at BTC shorts that are currently in. So the amount of BT shorts on Bitfinex was increasing pretty much since the beginning of June, and they were increasing, but the last, what date is it today? So it's the 20th today, so since the 18th, the actual shorts have been starting to dwindle, which you could say is a slightly bullish thing. I'm not sure if we can see any liquidations going through in a minute. I looked at right hand side, the red one's a liquidation on shorts, orange liquidations on longs. So we had a fair few liquidations on longs there. I think that's right. Let me just have a look. Ah no, sorry, the orange are bigger liquidations. Some tasty buys coming in here on BTC. So yeah, the shorts are starting to dwindle off. If these shorts come back down to what happened here back in 18th of May, you might start to see a bit of a rise coming in. Either all the shorts have been closed or liquidators. On the plus side of that, the longs, BTC longs are starting to increase. Nothing major, ever the drop off over the last few days, but as you can see on the 4 hour since pretty much May, longs have just started to increase and increase after that dump that we had around here. So that shows that now people are starting to push a little bit more longs through, but same with the shorts, they're starting to drop off now. So let's see if that has any effects on the market. Right, Mark, how you doing, mate? Right, let's have a look at some altcoins anyway. We've got a few in chat. We'll have a look at Uni first. I remember getting that Uni airdrop. The price now $20. Let's go back in time and see when I sold mine. Can't believe it went up to $45. So I got the airdrop on this. So I sold on this wick here at about $5-6. Must have been about $5. I think I made about $2,500 off that airdrop, and then saw it coming down. Why did I sell up here? I can't remember. I sold somewhere around that region anyway, and I saw it selling off. I thought, oh my god, Uni's dead. That token is a waste of time. Don't buy it again. But then we bounced hard off 179, and look at that. What a rise Uniswap has had. The amount of volume coming into Uniswap have been insane. So if I held on to that, I think it was 400, so 400 times 45, what's that? I'm dog shit at maths. That'd have been 18 grand if I managed to hold it up to that top. So I think I sold it 2.5 grand if I held, could have made 45k. But shit happens, doesn't it? I've made more winnings in other place, but in terms of price analysis, we are dropping. We're downtrending on this daily time frame here. If you just look at this entire move, look at that. A lot of assets are looking very similar. BTC, Ethereum, we have done that major move up. Loads of fucking around, and then we're using this 61% retracement as support. I think $20 around that region is a nice region where people are thinking, right, $20. It's a decent level to buy at. I've got some daily support down here at 9.30. We have been down to 13. I think if it went down to those regions again, I think I'd look at buying some back in, to be honest. But looking at 4 hour, let's see if we manage to bounce off this 618 level. I think the last few Sundays have been quite decent for Bitcoin. I know we've had a few Saturdays where we've dipped, but last few Sundays have been doing quite well. So let's see if we can pick up some momentum today. We have done that 61% retracement, which is what I always look for. Let's see if we can bounce up there. But if you're looking for some buys, I'd still target this region, maybe $16. Could be a decent area for you to look at buying. But if we do bounce, then maybe if you're looking to take profit on the way up at 23, and then this range around here is the first one to look at, up at about $26. So that's unit for you, mate. Bitcoin, what the fuck is going on? Will it ever go over 60k in US dollars? Yes, it will, mate. It's just a standard pullback. Well, I say a standard pullback. It's not a standard pullback. It was an orchestrated fucking manipulation drop that hammered us down to these lows. But of course it will, mate. Bitcoin long term is very, very bullish. You have to be patient in crypto. A lot of people come into cryptocurrency, seeing all the gains and think, right, I want to make this much money in this amount of time, or I want to make an 100x tomorrow, when in reality, long-term holders win. Always win. If you buy an asset now which is solid fundamentally, and you're down because of this dip, I wouldn't worry about it, because long-term we are bullish. And Bitcoin is getting adopted in countries now for local tendency, which is massive. More people are starting to know about it. This, for me, this entire drop and this accumulation phase, it could always go lower. I will not deny that it could go lower, but this, for me, it's just price action. And because it's starting to grow Bitcoin now globally, people are wanting to get in cheaper. We had an orchestrated China FUD session again, which brought it down, and long term, we're going up. So buy your favourite assets, hold long term. Do you think Bitcoin will go pump soon till Monday? Well, Monday is in about 20 hours. Probably less than that. Probably not, mate. We're in this period now of accumulation, and until we break above 41k, you have to be bearish short term. I'm bullish long term massively, but we're in this phase. Sideways chop, it's a little bit boring, isn't it? And just hold on, mate. But in terms of a pump till Monday, no idea, mate. I couldn't tell you. What else do we have in chat projects to look at? When BTC moves up, is there a ratio or estimated percent alts could follow? Not really, mate, no. It's we just move in tandem, don't like. You can see BT slightly up today. And the rest of everything else is up too. It's just the way it goes at the minute. When BTC is just pretty much ruling the party. When it goes up, alts follow. When it goes down, alts go down as well. Somebody said to me the other day, what's the point of analysing altcoins because BTC still runs the party? It still does run the party, but every single asset has its own price and its own level. So if you're looking for price analysis on VeChain, you wouldn't do price analysis on Bitcoin. You always obviously start with Bitcoin and have a look where the market is, because that could give you a good idea where alts are going. But for levels, you have to look at the individual alts themselves. Phantom. Similar scenario here, mate. Accumulation phase. Massive Bart Simpson pattern there. But 4 hour, yeah, not much going on, mate. It's just accumulation phase, isn't it? It's just one big chop city, not much going on. It's pretty much bouncing. What's that top range there? Bouncing off 40 cent. Using the lows down here at 23 cent as support. So yeah, that's just pretty much bouncing around. Not much going on. Not much to analyse there, to be honest, mate. You're either looking for a break above 40 cent or a drop below 23 cent to load up any lower. But yeah, I can't really analyse that. It's just sideways chop city. BTC and TFUEL is one of the only ones that doesn't follow BTC. I've noticed that quite a bit recently. This is a setup I had for Theta the other day. I was looking for a retest of this 618 level to then go back up and test this region around here, creating some higher lows, which is bullish in terms of structure. We've actually used this region here, this 382 level, quite nicely as support. So that's pretty much obsolete now. I think if you're looking for buys, this region is nice around 870. Obviously if it drops down, we're going to come back down to test this region at 737, so be prepared to buy somewhere there. But if we continue building this structure, really we should be heading back up towards 945 quite soon. And then TFUEL's been on a good run as well. That's not even a million miles of all-time high, is it? This actually played out. I was looking for that 6% retracement there, and then we've popped right to the upside. So in terms of TA, that went quite according to plan. Looking to test that all-time highs at 68 cents. Starting to roll over a little bit here, so if you're looking at this move now, so use that 50% there as a test. So a good chance that we could do something like this. We've done that impulse move up, come down, test this region, and then go back up to that region and test the all-time high. So that's a potential scenario. So if you're looking for buys on TFUEL, maybe have a look at 53 cents. To BTC, do you think it could consolidate for a few months? There's always that possibility, mate. We are consolidating now. This is what's happening. Plenty of things you can call it. You can call it accumulation, consolidation, range bound, chop city. There's all sorts of terms you can use for it, but we are just within this range now. Not much going on. People, I put a tweet out the other day saying nobody was bearish when we hit this level or this level or this level. But once we've rejected off this level, people have been so bearish recently on this last drop down. There is always that possibility. I'm not going to take it away that we could drop down to these two regions down here. They've got to be at the back of your mind, those two levels. But as long as if we did come back down here and flipped back to support again and pop back up, then I would give no reason why we should come back down to those levels. Bill Morris, any ideas on the SDL? Shall we have a look? I've bought some more recently. I bought some at around 15 cents, pretty much where we are now. It's a decent asset, the SDL. It's just had so much FUD behind it. I mean, if you look at down there, we did something like a 94% drop, and you thought, wow. If you didn't look at a project fundamentally, you'd think that's a rug pull, wouldn't you? But it had quite a bad launch. I think a lot of people were a bit frustrated with how the launch went. People were expecting 1000% APY from the beginning. They didn't get that now, and it's dropped all the way down to these regions at 15 cents. Considering it's been up to 174. It's a bad move out, but most people will be underwater in this. I actually topped up a little bit on it the other day. I still like what's going on there, and you can say now we're just in a sideways action. People buying and selling it around the same region. So if you're looking for buys, fundamentally I still think it's strong, and I think it would be a decent one to hold for future. But I watched one of Howie's chats the other day, and it was quite decent, to be honest. It seems like a genuine bloke. So rather than the SDL, I think I've invested a few ETH in him, and let's see if that goes on long term. Any chance alts could rally, even if BTC plummets? They are getting battered recently. Probably not, to be honest, unless the only thing that would cause a major alt run is this, ETH BTC. If that started climbing up and flying, in tandem with that, BTC dominance would drop back down to his regions, and that would instigate an altcoin rally. But I've said this on a few streams before. I'm still looking for BTC to go on a run at some stage and reclaim this 52% region. Just bouncing around here down at 46%. It's been quite a hard one to get through. I think we've tested it quite a few times. Several times on my daily we've tested this region and rejected off it. We need to break through. If BTC dominance breaks above 46%, BTC will go on a run. And I think there's a good chance we could test 52%. Reject off that and then go back into the alt season, maybe on pretty much looking at August to December. So I'm looking for a slow build up here. BTC push back up towards 50k region. Once BTC gets up to that range, I think it'll hover. If BTC will then go on the charge and start to reclaim this area. We've rejected off this, and this is the area I'm pretty much looking for ETH BTC to break above, going on towards the latter part of the year, and then go on and create some new all-time highs, because it's been all right, 0.15 BTC. When that goes on the charge, maybe towards the end of the year, then alts can really start to push on. Can I look into Kusama USDT? I can, mate. Somebody said this morning about dumping. Let's have a look into this. So on yesterday's stream, I said buys within this range. I think I put this line, this red line on this market at $300. I think $300 will act as some natural support. So let's see if that manages to hold up. If 300 bucks does hold up, could be quite good. But I mean, we've nearly done a full retracement of this entire move. Let's just have a look at. We're coming down. Maybe if you're looking for buys, look at 272. Because if you look at this Fibonacci move from this wick down on 23rd of May all the way to the top, we've done that retracement. We use this area 3 times as support. So potentially, if you're looking for buys, maybe 272 could be a decent area to buy. Remember, if the market dies, there's always a possibility of getting orders filled down at 200, and then this week down at 157 could come into play. But yeah, currently using 300 bucks as support, so let's see if that holds. If not, 272. That BNB. I looked at BNB for a long time actually. Not much going on there. There's a sideways action. At least it's staying above 300 bucks. I mean, we did crash right down to 210, which were quite a significant drop. But let's just mark some levels up here. So, well, that was a high range, low range there. Let's bang a mid-range on around. That's about mid-range. Obviously using that area of support all the way through, rejected here, and then use it as support all the way through. And that, to me, is showing up as a decent level of support. So maybe if you're looking for buys, 322 could be a nice level. If it did reject, then this would be then resistance. There's always a possibility that it could come down to test this region at 210 again. But if you look at the entire move, 50% fib is around mid-range. There's obviously a good chance we could either come down and test this range before we do pop back up. Or there's a good chance that we could, if you look at our entire move, impulse up, impulse down to 618. We could also do that full retracement there. We could even tap this, reject off there, and then come back down and use that mid-range as resistance and then low range as support. But let's see if this manages to hold up, because if it does hold up, come back down and test it, and we could go back up to test a high range at 433. So 2 potential scenarios. It just depends whether this does hold up as support for now. But yeah, still sideways action on BTC. Remember, this could go on for a few weeks. Yeah, it could go on for the rest of the month. How do you keep track for tax purposes? Get my accountant to do it. That's what I do. I don't deal with anything to do that, mate. Can't stand tax. There's actually an app you can use, yeah. Knacker87 just said it there. Coinly. You can link Coinly to your exchanges or your wallets. That's decent to use, but I just log profits, send it to Taxman, and he sorts all that for me. I should say my accountant. Evido, one of my favourite low caps. Evido for me is still in this accumulation phase. We've got a high range there at 27 cent, low range at 12, 13 cents. So if you're looking for buys, will be no harm in trying to buy some down on its bottom level down here at 13 cent. We have got a bot trading on Bit4X, so if you're looking to get orders filled on Bit4X, it's quite hard. I think it's has it changed Ascendix or something like that now. But yeah, if you're looking for buys, I'd still try and get some down here at 13 cent. It is pushing up a little bit, currently at 19 cent, but ultimately it's just going to be bouncing up and down here for a while. Not much terms of news for our video, but I think if you're looking to buy a low cap, which is down at the bottom, and I think it's a solid area for you to buy. I'm not sure where that line just appeared from, but that's a potential scenario that could happen at some stage. Get rid of that. How's Polkadot doing? That's not looking too good really, but remember we've got parachains coming up this year at some stage, so that'll be a massively bullish factor. So look at that in time and see what's going on. Looks like an area to buy for me there. If you're looking for buys on Polkadot, this region, you can see lots of confluence there. So $19, $20, decent area to buy. It's held up as support a lot. It pretty much over its entire move. It's held up as support all the way through. We did go back up to test $28, come back down. So if you're looking for buys, that looks like a decent level to target. Nihal, how is DOGE looking? Probably horrific. Also looks horrific, doesn't it? Not sure, this red line must be support I've put in previously. Holding up well, but that line is support, isn't it? The wick, 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks bang on that line, so looks like it's holding up as support. That could be potentially a bottom if unless Bitcoin gets another shakeout back down to 31k. I think you're going to be staying just above this line, I think. Currently downtrending, really. It does need to have a break up, to be honest. It's either going to go one way or other, and we're going to break through the upside, or we're going to drop through this support and go down to test this region at 24 cent. So that's a potential area. But let's see. If it breaks up, happy days. If it breaks down, Blood City. So if it breaks to the upside, maybe a good potential opportunity to long. But if it breaks to the downside, be a nice shorting opportunity back down to 24 cent there. What do you think about Elrond? Never looked into it, to be honest, mate. I know a lot of people talk about Elrond. It's got a good community behind it, but I've never really looked into fundamentals. That's nothing against the projects, it's just fact that I never had time really. I've looked into that many other projects before. It's hard to keep on top of everything, especially when you work full time as well. Let's have a look at some other stuff anyway. How's the grid and fair doing today? Still down. It keeps dropping this greed and fear index. By the fear. What's caps doing? Caps drop below my accumulation zone. Replace Hurricane with Rashford or Sancho. I agree. He's been dog shit on it. Let's not talk about England now because it bores the life out of me. I always say to myself, I'm never going to watch it again. I mean, I'll end up watching it again and just feel like saying the same again. Frustrating when it picks an absolute shite team. Big pump coming in 8 hours, GTA 5. I'll hold you to that, mate. Oh, shit. What's going on there? Did you look into the stock market? It seems like it's struggling. I'm guessing it's influencing in the current situation. Yeah, probably it does, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, I need to have a look at. Whenever this happens, so this is the dollar, whenever this is pumping, BTC usually feels the pain, and I'm quite surprised it's pushed up to 92, to be honest. I had a fair old drop, though, if you look at this on me. It looks like probably just a relief bounces, to be honest, but can't believe it's actually been all the way down to that region, 89, but yeah, it has been downtrending for quite a while, pretty much since March of last year. We've had a few wicks up. It might be coming back up to test this region again, but if it doesn't, what you could say is just creating another a lower high, really. I mean, if you look, so that's, say that's the top. We've created another lower high. Another lower high here. Could say that's a lower high, so I mean there's a good potential that we could potentially be creating another lower high. So in terms of market structure, it's looking very bearish. I think if we did push above and close above here, you might get a change in momentum and we could go back up to test this region around here at 894ish, but let's hope we flip around from here. But yeah, the dollar is spiking up, so therefore Bitcoin has been doing shit. You could say that's one of the factors. Pretty much since May we found a bottom around here and it's pushed up, and that has pretty much tied in tandem with that Bitcoin drop, to be honest. So let's see if this managed to, if we look on the lower time frames, we really could do with this flipping over now. It's tried to roll over a couple of times, but then it regained some momentum, so we are really looking for a where's my pen? We're looking for a roll over here and then go back down to test these regions, which would be good for Bitcoin. But in terms of the regular stock markets and all that, not really into that, so I can't really advise. Meaning I'm shit at it, really, for crypto. 12 million just shorted on whale trades on Twitter. Traditional market is a bear. It makes sense with the amount of money that the major countries have spent across the world due to COVID. It's going into trillions, isn't it? Why are people saying it's a bull market and no one will admit it's a bear market? Well, to be honest, the majority sentiment I've seen is bearish. I've hardly seen many bulls, to be honest, mate. I'm bullish long term. Short term, you have to be bearish because the pattern is just accumulation, isn't it? I mean, and you've got them possibilities. You could drop down to these regions. So I think if you're bullish on the shorter term time frames, I mean, you're fighting against the trend, really, aren't you? I mean, I've got a bit of a long opening just in case we do pop to the upside, but that's just off my own back. What are your main altcoins you own, and how much percent Bitcoin versus altcoins? I'm not a massive fan of Bitcoin, to be honest, at this current stage. I've got a bit of Bitcoin, but I prefer alts over Bitcoin just due to technology. But my main bags are Polkadot, VeChain, Zilliqa. They're the main ones. And then I've got a bit of Ethereum too. I'm not bothered if it drops. I really don't care. It's just another opportunity to buy. I've got quite a few stable assets in Swissborg, so if the market does die and it comes back down to these regions, I've got plenty of stable assets there to deploy if needed. But I'm not bothered about seeing my altcoins go down. I really don't care. I've been in this for 5 years and I've been holding since the beginning, and portfolio has just grown and grown and grown. If you hold through the dips, and if you've been in crypto for a while and experienced a dip, then nothing to worry about. It's mainly the newer people who are calling bear market and getting wrecked and calling it a scam. And in reality, if you just hold long term, you're onto a winner. Can I ask is that BIT or BTC? Are you staking Plu? Yes, I am. Staking Plu. Pro account. Unlimited cashback on pints of beer. Have you ever looked into Fowler Network? I've not. Only one reason is because every time I used to put a tweet out, I used to get knobheads fucking banging loads of stuff in comments about Fowler Network, and it annoyed the hell out of me, so I never even looked. BTC Bart Simpson. You could say there's a Bart Simpson in there somewhere, couldn't you? Yeah, most charts look similar, don't they? Major push up. Not a major blow up top, and then a steep drop down, so yeah, you could say it's a Bart Simpson, couldn't you? But again, another bullshit pattern that nobody cares about. Price prediction for DOT in 1 year. Well, I'll give a prediction at the beginning of this year of $50, and it pretty much tapped out near enough. I think this year, it still could go back to some regions, but depends how the entire market goes, doesn't it? From 1 year from now, if we're still in a bull cycle, and we could be pushing 150, $200. How's my bag on Chili's doing? Not so bad at the minute. Well, not too good, should I say. Down 7%, nothing major. I'll be doing an update on Chili's this week, so I might be down, might be up. 29 cents, it's currently, I bought mine at 32 cents. So yeah, it's currently down at the minute, mate. Clinging on to this level, aren't we, around here, this mid-range. Hodl or trade? I'll just hodl mainly, mate. Up to you if you're trading. This is perfect opportunity for scalpers, this. I mean, if you're looking at lower time frames, you could just be longing and shorting this to death. It's just chop sitting, ain't not much going on. I don't have enough time to trade. If I did, I'd be I would be scalping this. I think it's perfect time to scalp. Yeah, that's the best thing, to be honest, mate. If you do your research on projects and you fundamentally like them, then just hold on. You're not going to lose holding long term. You might be down short term, but you'll only be down in dollar value, won't you? You're still going to hold the same amount of crypto, and inevitably the market is going to fly at some stage. Whether that be tomorrow, or whether that be in a year or 2 years or whenever, it will fly at some stage. So if you can pick some up cheaper than now, then happy days. What's your gut feeling about BTC next week? I honestly don't know, mate. I really don't know. I'm very indecisive. I'm expecting this region to hold up nice and we'll go back up to test 41k, which is what I'd prefer. But in reality, we could come down and test this region again for a third time. I think if a third time we did pretty much hit that to a nail on a T, then we could go up and test that 47k region, but it's a guessing game at the minute, mate, to be honest. Let's see if this mid-range holds up. We've done that 61% retracing over that entire move. Always come down to 33k and then bounce up as well, so that could help as support. But if you look at this move here, we use this region as support before that next leg up. We've come back down and we're testing it within this range again, so it does show there's quite a lot of support and a lot of liquidity around this area all the way down. So if we do lose that, there's not much trading within this area, so we're going to go drop down to 31k. But I think this is a key area. Flip this back to support because it's currently resistance. Flip that back to support, I think things might be alright. Zilica's done a full retracement of that entire move now, so that could either be bullish or bearish. If it doesn't manage to stay above this region, it's going to come down to 8.5 cents. I'll have a couple more questions and I'm going to call it a day. I've got some stuff going on today, so let's get a stream done and fire a few vids out and then back to life. Roughly my prediction, BTC will reach above 40 next week. Let's hope so, mate. Yo, what's happening with BTC? Take a look for yourself here, mate. Not much. Range bound for me. That's called the accumulation zone or the range bound area. Who knows? Could keep doing that. Could keep doing that for weeks. How did I first get into crypto? Cheers out, Steve. So back in 2016, I started investing in gas and oil exploration stocks, shares. And then I realised that the stock market is absolutely dog shit. So I saw somebody talk about crypto on that lead up to the bull market in 2017, and I bought some XRP, which were an absolute pain in the ass. And then just been in ever since. Worked for a few projects, doing like community manager roles and shit like that. And just been doing it ever since. So pretty much stock market first, and then got wrecked on stock market. Thought coming to crypto. Got wrecked initially, but doing quite well now. Only just joined, but what your opinion on the death cross and what it means? The death cross. I think it's already been priced in, to be honest. Moving averages are lagging indicators. So this is coming to a head now. It's not a death cross, it's just a moving average crossover on the 50 and the 200. I think this has already been priced in. Obviously, if you get a major drop, the moving averages are obviously going to cross over at some stage. So for me, all this noise around here will form a cross. And people will be flapping. We'll end up shorting market like fuck. And then we'll get some major price action. So I'll just get rid of this. So look at my perp chart. Bit closer on perp chart. So you're gonna get something like this. This will come down here. This will come here and start pushing up. But what you'll see is something like this. A major bullish cross, and you'll see the price action do that. So I think this has already been factored in, and you're going to get something like that. Sorry for drawings, because that looks horrific, but you kind of get the idea, don't you? I think it's already been priced in. Sideways action, maybe bounce a 30k again around that region, form a bottom, and then push up on it and start climbing on. So that's a potential of what could happen with the death cross. Yeah, kinda, mate. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for today. Got some stuff to go cracking on with, so thanks everybody tuning in on today's stream. If you're new here, make sure that you're subscribed as usual. Hit that like button. Try and do a few streams this week, but our lass is off work, so I might be going gallivanting about fucking country. You know what women are like, trying to drag you all over. So that's going to do it for today's stream. I appreciate everybody joining in and asking questions, so I'll catch you next time.